everyone here this morning. It's a great occasion to always have the opportunity to hear from our governor, who's been an outstanding leader of this state for so many years. And I want to begin by thanking a few people for helping to put this together. First, Marie Jelinek and Diana Heath for preparing the goodies and refreshments for here. I also want to thank Lou Cerrone for helping to organize this event. And I want to recognize some people. Patrick Ellis, who is a selectman. County Commissioner and Selectman in Falmouth, Mary Pat Flynn. We have a birthday girl in our midst, Thelma Goldstein. She asked me to guess how old she is, and I missed consistently until I got to 97. Told me she just got a driver's license renewed for 5 years. Not that's good or bad. I want to thank our friends from Plymouth and Falmouth and Bourne and Mashpee and Barnstable for also coming here this morning. And I want to also special thanks to John Walsh, who is here. You know John as... John was a great chair of the state party and a special friend to all of us here on the Cape, so it's great to see you again, crossing over the bridge. I have a question for the group. How would you like to wake up the day after this coming election and realize that Brian Herr is our U.S. Senator, Charlie Baker and Karen Polito are Governor, Lieutenant Governor, John Chapman is our new Congressman. Pete Macedo is our state senator. Randy Hunt continues to be our state rep. Chaparrales is a state rep. Chakunas is a county commissioner. And O'Keefe continues to be our district attorney. If you don't want that, then we've got a little over 2 weeks to make sure it doesn't happen. And everybody in this room needs to do whatever we can to be out there talking to people, calling people, contributing any way we can to put our people over the top. And with no further ado, I'd like to introduce our slate of candidates, starting with Rick Barry, who is running for district attorney.
Well, I didn't know I was going to be speaking, so this is right from the head. First of all, I would like to obviously thank the governor for coming down. We really need to show a great unity in the Democratic Party. And as someone who is running against a 3-term incumbent, I want to say thank you to all you folks out there. The Democratic Party, in particular the local Democratic parties, have just been amazing to me. People have been out handing out my literature, people I haven't even met. So the founding principles that we have in the Democratic Party, which bond us all here today, are going to carry us through on November 4th. So I'd like to thank everyone who's helped me out, helped other people's campaigns out. Matt, wish him the best of luck. Both Matts, actually. And thank you very much.
I want to introduce our next new county commissioner, Mark Forrest.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for being here today. What a wonderful crowd. What a wonderful crowd. It's great to see this turnout, this all this enthusiasm, all this energy. I can't thank you enough for the help that you provided my campaign. As you all know, my race is all about the Cape, protecting our coastal waters, our water supplies, our water resources, strengthening our year-round economy, and building a special place that we can pass on to future generations that will have the opportunity to enjoy Cape Cod much the way that we've come to enjoy this place ourselves. I'm very excited that the governor is here and John Walsh. We've been so lucky. We've been so lucky to have such incredible leadership here in Massachusetts, but also here on the Cape. Whenever we've had an issue, whenever we've had a problem, we can look to the governor, we can look to his administration. They've been here for us, and I can't thank you enough for all the work that you've done for Cape Cod. It's been incredible. This race is in many respects all about Team Cape Cod. You know, you can't do it alone. You need everybody together. The governor's shown what teamwork is all about and how important it is to take care of Cape Cod and how to deal with the issues that we are all concerned about. But we need people like Matt Patrick, we need Matt Terry, we need a full, strong Cape delegation to make sure that the things that we care about are first and foremost on everyone's agenda. So thank you for being here. Thanks for giving me the chance to speak. And let's move on to November.
I'd like next to introduce next State Senator Matt Patrick.
After that joke, I'm surprised I got that round of applause. But I want to reiterate for the people who are here new and didn't hear my original speech. This is very winnable. We need your help. We're very close. It's going to be a close race, and it's an off year. It's the midterm. So Democrats typically don't come out in the midterm. That's why we need to identify the voters. We've been doing that, and we need you to help us get them out to vote in these last few weeks. So please sign up. We have Dear Friend cards. Got one right here. They're very attractive. Very easy to fill out. This is the time to get them out to your friends. As everybody's saying, this is really teamwork. We need Democrats in there. It's a Democratic legislature. If you want to be represented, if you want to be part of what's going on, you need to have a Democratic representative and a Democratic senator in that legislature. The Republicans are, nice guys, but they're not going to be in the Democratic caucus. They're not going to be talking to the Democratic Senate President, or they're not going to be talking to the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, because they're all Democrats. It's dominated. It's a fact. So you need us in there to keep this place going, and I think we've got a great team. We're going to work for jobs. We're going to work for environmental protection. We're going to make sure our kids get good education and that they're off to college and at an affordable price. So that's what we're all about, and I'm very happy to be here and be part of it. It's a rebound for me, but I'm really having a great time. So thank you very much for that.
I'd like to introduce a Sandwich native, Matt Terry.
Hey everyone, good morning. I wanted to thank the governor for coming down. His wife Diane was one of my 140 bosses at Ropes and Gray when I was there for 7 years. It's tough having 140 bosses. I think having one boss is difficult, but she was always fantastic to me. So I want to report to everyone that out of the thousands of voters that we've talked to so far, we are winning. So I think we've been out for months, knocking on doors every day, making phone calls, and out of the thousands of people we've talked to, 59% are coming our way. Now the bad news is we haven't talked to every voter yet. And so we don't know if we're winning among the thousands of voters we've yet to talk to. And that's where we really need your help. In the next 2 weeks, to get out, join us knocking on doors. After this, we're knocking on doors. Thelma's coming. She says she's coming out. Please come spend a couple hours today. If you can't do it today, between now and Election Day, come knock on doors with us, come make phone calls, reach out to voters to spread our message. Because when they hear our message, we win. And to educate the voters about the choice they have in this election, between me and a guy who's voted against women's rights, he's voted against equal rights, he voted against a gun control bill that the NRA said they were okay with. So this guy's to the right of the NRA. And voters don't necessarily understand that. And my opponent has consistently failed to bring money back to this district year in, year out, and it's added up. When you drive down Main Street on your way in here, I'm sure the governor might have hit a pothole or two. I apologize for that. And that's because over the last 12 years, we've been electing people that cannot bring home our own tax money. And so that's what I really want to fight to change. So thank you guys all for coming. Please come out and knock doors with us after this, and onward to victory. Thanks a lot.
That's our slate of candidates, and I think they're above and beyond anything that anybody else could put forward. I had the opportunity for a number of years to work in different parts of the world and throughout this country, and as I went to Ohio and Louisiana and Georgia and Florida and worked there, one of the things that always came back to me was mentioned when people knew I was from Massachusetts is the quality of our governor. And I was very proud to be able to say, yes, I am a member of his party in Massachusetts, and he has done a great job. And it's a real pleasure and an honor to have you here today.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. I'm so glad you're all here, Paul. Thank you for the warm welcome and for the very nice compliment. I feel really lucky and indeed proud of the slate of Democrats I'm here to join you in supporting. Rick and Mark and Matt. Matt Terry said it's tough to have 140 bosses. Try having 6.7 million bosses. It is tough, but it's worthy work. It's worthy and important work. You know, I've been listening to the Republican candidate for governor, almost, by the way, unrecognizable from the same Republican candidate for governor. He sounds a lot nicer, but it's the same message. It's the same policies that explain why 8 years ago Massachusetts was 47th in the nation in job creation. Right? Over the last 8 years, working with an extraordinary Democratic-controlled legislature, we're at a 25-year high in employment in Massachusetts. We are number one in America. In America, in student achievement, in veteran services, in healthcare coverage, in energy efficiency, in economic competitiveness, in entrepreneurial activity, in venture funding. I can go on and on and on. We are not at the promised land, but we are about lifting everybody, paying attention to every region of the Commonwealth, and understanding that government has a role to play in helping people help themselves. Now, all of these candidates, and each of them, and all of the other candidates, with Martha Coakley at the top of our ticket, and I'm excited about that. These Democrats understand something that the other party doesn't, but regular people do. And that is, it's not about the candidates. When I came and introduced myself to many of you a decade ago, I see you there, Paul. I'm so glad you're here. Is Joanna here too? There she is. Thank you so much for being here. I told you then, and 4 years ago, that the race was not about me. It's still not about me. It's not about Martha, or the brace of Matts we need on Beacon Hill, or frankly, any of the superior Democratic candidates we have. It's not about them personally. Because the thing about Democrats that is so critical is that we have candidates who want not just to have the job, but to do the job. And doing the job means seeing you. It means looking out, not in. It means seeing beyond the folks who are well connected and well enough how shall I say? Well, connected. I'll leave it at that. To assure their interests on Beacon Hill. And by the way, they've worked with me too. But they don't actually care who the governor is or what party the governor is. They know exactly how to get their phone calls returned. They know exactly how to get a meeting. They're not all bad people. It's just they know how to look after themselves. Whether the interests of everybody else are seen and understood depends on who the governor is. Depends on who your state senator and your representatives are. And Democrats get that. These get Democrats in particular. When I listen to Charlie, I hear somebody who is quite comfortable with the comfortable. Right? I'm blessed. I'm economically comfortable, thanks to my wife. And so I'm comfortable with Charlie, and he's comfortable with me. But the problem is, Charlie doesn't care one bit about how you and I got to be comfortable, or about all the strivers behind us who are still trying to get a toehold in the middle class and to hang on once they get there. And you've got to understand that depends on the quality of our schools and universal access to early childhood education. That depends on workforce training. It depends on whether you're going to go out and create new industries like clean and alternative energy, which is the fastest, or one of the two fastest growing industries in the Commonwealth right now, with 100,000 people working in it. It's not that I'm saying wealth is bad, achievement is bad. It's not. But the American dream is about how you reach for that. Not just having it, but not having it and being able to imagine having it and then reaching for it. And having the tools and the encouragement and the support to be able to do it. That is what the American dream is about. I know it because I've lived it, and I'm a Democrat because we are the party of the American dream. And you got to go out and make that case. That's the case you have to make. That's the case regular people understand. I don't know about you, but I am so tired of the stale sloganeering and the tearing down and, frankly, the cruelty that is a part of modern politics. Reach in to the kindness we know is there. I know it's there. I remember in the spring, the Obama administration asked a number of governors whether we would be willing temporarily to shelter some of these children who were stranded on the southern border. And every one of us knew that was a tough, tough ask, right? Because it was going to get all caught up in the hateful debate, if you can even call it a debate, about immigration reform. It's a sensitive and complicated set of issues, and I knew that. But I also understand 3- and 4-year-olds separated by thousands of miles from their parents living in squalor, and that we have the capacity temporarily to give succor to them. For me, it was an act of patriotism and faith. And for that I was called everything but a child of God. Including by the guy you're running against. In the summer, one day this summer, I had a free morning. And Diane had a bunch of errands she wanted me to run at the Home Depot. And I thought, well, it's early. I'll get there when they open. I can slip in and slip out. And I won't, on this occasion, call the state police, which I'm supposed to do. They'd rather you didn't do that. But I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. So I was dressed in a t-shirt and jeans and flip-flops. I had on a baseball cap and dark glasses. And I jumped in the truck and I drove over to the Home Depot. And I got there shortly after it opened. And I was outed in my first encounter. My first encounter in the first with the manager. Welcome, Governor, to the Home Depot. I had 7 encounters in the Home Depot. One with a very angry man in the checkout line, not threatening, but angry, who said very loudly, "Governor, I could not disagree more with your decision. It's wrong. My own wife," he said, "is an immigrant. She came here legally. That's how it should happen." And I said to him, "I thank you for your feedback. I appreciate it." And I understood what he was saying. But everybody in the checkout line knew who was angry and at whom he was angry. I had 6 other encounters, each on the same subject. And each of those 6 people whispered, "You're doing the right thing for those children." Whispered. The calls and messages to the office were 3 and 4 to 1 in favor of sheltering those children. What's the matter with that? The anger, the hate gets shouted.
Yeah.
Compassion is whispered. We have to turn that around.
Right. Yeah.
We have to shout justice. We have to shout kindness and compassion. We can have differences of view about sensitive issues, federal, like immigration, or local issues, like Chapter 90 funds to fix the potholes. We can have those debates. But the fundamental notion that we as a community of souls have to do what we must to turn to each other rather than on each other is something we have to lift up, and Democrats alone are about that. So when you go out, don't be uncomfortable or uneasy about talking to people who disagree with us, or who have been swept up in I've seen some amazingly nasty mailers, or who are caught up in the caustic rhetoric, the debilitating and self-defeating nature of our hard-right political discourse today. Don't be deterred, because what's at stake is bigger even than Martha Coakley and Steve Kerrigan and all these other distinguished candidates who are very important and whom we need to elect. But the reason we need to elect them is because the American dream is every election at stake. And it's worth fighting for. So go fight for it.
This is, I will show it in a minute, this is the governor addressing us when we were opening our campaign office in 2010 over Emergent Square. And I will say that you look much younger than There's a little message on the back. It says, "Governor Patrick, we were with you in 2006. We were with you in 2010, and we are with you now. Thank you for your passion and leadership."
Thank you so much.